Welcome everyone. I am Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma, Associate Professor, IITS College of Pharmacy, Muradnagar. This is the lecture number 20 and this is the continuation of the unit 3, and in the topic this lecture is introduction of research, and it is the part 1 of the introduction research. The course of this lecture is Bachelor in Pharmacy and the subject is Biostatistics and Research Methodology. The code is BP801T and the university is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. In this lecture, we will learn about the research, that means I explain you the introduction of research, then what is the need of research, then we read another term design of experiment. So, I explain you what is the design of experiment and what is the need for design of experiment. So, now we start research. So, research is a logical and systematic search for the new and useful information on a particular topic. Research, that means re plus search, that means we finding the new things in the existing knowledge, or in other words we can say a research can lead to new contribution to the existing knowledge. It is an investigation of finding solution to scientific and social problems through the objectives and systematic analysis. It is a search for knowledge, that is a discover of the hidden truths. Research is indeed civilization and determine the economic, social and political development of a nation. There are some definition of research according to Advanced Learner Dictionary of the Current English lays down the meaning of research as a careful investigation or inquiry, especially through search for new facts in any branch of knowledge. The another definition, Reedman and Moray defined research is a systemized effort to gain new knowledge. Some people consider research as a movement from the known to the unknown. So, in this we find the going to known to unknown. It is actually a voyage of discovery. Research is done with the help of study, experiment, observation, analysis, comparison and reasoning. Research is in fact ubiquitous. For example, we know the cigarette smoking is injurious to health, heroin is addictive, cow dung is useful source of biogas, malaria is due to the virus Protozoa plasmodium, AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, is due to the virus HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. So, how do we know all these? We become aware of all these information only through the research. So, now what is the need of research, or in the need of research we can say what are the objectives of research. The primary objective of research are to discover new facts. That means, in research we find new facts. Also research is requirement of research is to verify and test important facts, and also another objective of research is to analyze an event or process or phenomena to identify the cause and the effect relationship. For example, we know smoking cause cancer. So, how do we come know smoking cause cancer? It can be done with the help of research. Another objective of the research is to develop new scientific tools, concepts and theories to solve and understand scientific and non-scientific problems, and to find solution to scientific non-scientific and social problems, and another objective to overcome or solve the problems occurring in our daily life. As the vaccine for COVID is the example of research. Why makes people do research? Some of the motivation are the followings point which motivate to people to research, to do research. First, the people do research to get a research degree, that is Doctor of Philosophy or PhD, along with its benefit like better employment, promotion, increment in salary and etc. This is the main motivation point people do research. Second, to get a research degree and then to get a teaching position in a college or university, or become a scientist in a research institution. Third, the point which motivate to people do research is to get a research position in countries like USA, Canada, Germany, England, Japan, Australia, etc., and settle there for better life. This is the third motivating point the people do research. And next, to solve the unsolved and challenging problem. Some people want to solve unsolved problems and challenging problems, so they do research. The another motivating point is to get joy of doing some creative work. Some people are interesting to do creative work, so they go in the research field. Next is to acquire respectability, as in our society the research scientists are respectable person. So, people do research to acquire respectability or respectful position in the society, or to get the recognition. Next motivation point is curiosity to find out the unknown facts of an event. This is another motivating point, and the last is to serve the society by solving social problems. So, some people are interesting to help the social people, so they find their problems and solve these problems with the help of research. Now, what are the importance of research? Research and existing theory and concept help us identify the range and application of them. It is the function of knowledge and provides guidelines for solving problems. Research also provides basis for many government policies. It leads to the identification and characterization of the new materials, new living things, new stars, etc. Another importance of research is only through the research invention can be made. We remember, as Edison invent a bulb, this can be done with the help of research, and from the Edison bulb we come to the LED. This is the result of the research. Social researchers help find answer to social problems. Next, research leads to new style of life and make it delightful and glorious. So, this is the another important point of the research. So, these are the some steps in research. First, we identify the problem. This is the first step. First, we identify the problem. That means, when we do our study in research field, the first step is identify the problem, and this will be found with the help of literature review. Literature review, this is the second step. or you can say review of literature. For review of literature, that means with the related problem we read some research journal papers or some published reports or books. So, we read the literature survey. Why we do the go to the literature survey? To know the existing facts. We go to the literature survey to know the existing facts or existing knowledge. After the literature survey, the next step is plan of research design. The third step is plan of research design. That means what will be the design of experiment and what will be the experimental design, or you can say what will be the methodology to complete our design. So, this the next step is research design. After that, we find the sample size. When we do our study, this is the most important of our study research part, that is sample size. That means, we should know what will be the sample size of our study. As you know, if sample is large, then it require more effort, more time, more cost to complete the problem, and if sample size is small, then the results are not significant or not meaningful. So, this is the another main important step, that what will be the sample size, and the sample size calculate by the different formula. Then after determining the sample size, we write the protocol. Protocol is a blueprint of our research. That means, we write here in this a complete description of our research project. That means, what are the objective of research, null hypothesis, research methodology, sample size, then types of experimental and experimental design or design of experiment, and the reference, that means the research journal literature survey part, we write the name of journals, name of books which we have read. So, these all things are is the protocol. After writing the protocol, we send our protocol to the ethical committee for approval. We send it to our protocol to ethical committee to approve this, and then after ethical committee approval, we do a pilot study to test the our objectives before start to main study. Because with the help of pilot study, if our when we do the pilot study and find the result and analyze the result, and if our objectives are not going in right direction or we are not achieving our objectives, then we change some points. So, before going to main study, we do pilot study, and after completing the main study, we collect the data, and after collecting the data, there are now another step is collection. After first is collection of data, then after collection we compile the data, and the next step is presentation of data. Presentation of data, and the data can be present with the help of diagram or the table. Next step is analysis of the data. Analysis of data. After analysis, we find the result. So, we interpret the result interpretation, and after the result interpretation, these can be done, or you can say in analysis we test the hypothesis of our objectives. So, in analysis part we test the hypothesis, testing of hypothesis. In this we test the hypothesis, and find the result and interpret the result, and and then the generalization on interpretation. As you know, we have developed a vaccine for COVID. First we do try it on small subjects or small patient, then we think that it is significant effect or positive effect, then we apply to vaccinate to all person. So, this is the generalization. After generalization, we write report, then another step is report writing, and last step is publication. So, these are the main steps in research. The another term we read in this lecture is design of experiment. Design of experiment is a structured and organized method for determining the relationship between input factors, for example, xi independent variable affecting one more, or output variable which is called response or dependent variable, and generally we take it as y. Through the establishment of mathematical model y equal to function of x y. So, y is here response or dependent variable, and x I is the input factors or independent variable. In DOE approach, the controlled input factors are systematically varied to determine the effects on the output responses, which allows the determination of the most important input factors, the identification of input factor setting leading to optimized output responses, and the equalization of interaction between input factors. So, what is DOE? DOE or design of experiment is a powerful statistical technique for improving product process design, and solving process or production problems. DOE makes controlled changes to input variables in order to gain maximum amounts of information on cause and effect relationship with a minimum sample size. So, this is the main basic aim of DOE is to make controlled change to input variable in order to gain maximum amount of information, that means maximum output on cause and effect relationship with a minimum sample size. When analyzing a process, experiments are often used to evaluate which process inputs have significant impact on the process output, and what the target level the input should be to effective a desired result output. Design of experiment is also referred to as designed experiment or experimental design. So, we can say design of experiment or designed experiments or experimental design. What is the need of DOE, or you can say why DOE or design of experiment is required. A good design of experiment reduce time to design or develop new products and process. So, if our design of experiment is good, then we reduce the time to develop new products, or so for example, in tablet formulation, if we have good experimental design, then we increase our production in less time. Second, it improve performance of existing process. As we know, there are some existing process to develop or to produce some products, but it may be some problems in existing process. So, we with the help of good experimental design, we improve the performance of our existing process. Second, it improve reliability and performance of the products. This is the another need of design of experiment. Next is it achieve product and process of robustness. It perform evaluation of material design, alternatives, setting component and system tolerances. With the help of good experimental design, we perform evaluation material design alternatives जो already हमारे पास design we can change in already design existing process. With the good experiment component, we set in different way and we systems tolerances. History of DOE, the agriculture origin in 1918 to 1940, R. A. Fisher and his co-worker profound impact on the agriculture sciences, factorial design in which we apply analysis of variance. The first industrial era as we know 1951 to late 1970, Box and Wilson develop response surface design and they apply in the chemical and process industries. The second industrial era is late 1970 to 1990. In this era, the quality improvement initiative in many companies CQI and TQM were more important ideas and become management tools. Taguchi and robust parameter design, process robustness, and these are the some Taguchi method, these are some developed in 1970 to 1990. The modern era economic competitiveness and globalization is driving all sectors of the economy to be more competitive. This is the general model of a process or system. In the process, we have inputs and there are two types of factors. Some factors are controllable factors and some factors are uncontrollable factors, and after processing the input with these two types of factors, we get the output, that is y. So, this is the general model of a process or a system. DOE example, if we have some factors or variable inputs are oven, sugar, flour and eggs, and the level may be oven level is temperature, it may be high or low. So, it is a controllable factor. The amount of sugar is another level and it is also controllable factor, because we control the amount of sugar, amount of flour, that is if 1 cup it is also 1 cup, and eggs, this is also the number of 3 eggs or 4 eggs, and we find the outcomes is cake. We are baking cake here. So, cake is the output and the characteristics of this example are taste, color and consistency. That means, we can increase the taste or we can change the color, and with the help of change color and taste we form different types of cakes. Thank you.